All right, so buckle up, dear listeners, because today we're diving headfirst into a story. And let me tell you, this one's got all the ingredients of a classic YouTube drama.
Feuding YouTubers, controversial products, you name it, we've got it.
It's like someone took everything we love about internet drama and crammed it into one delicious, messy package.
And you know we're going to unpack it all.
Oh, absolutely. So where do we even begin? I guess with the players involved, right? We've got KSI, who, let's be honest, needs no introduction.
The man wears more hats than I can count. YouTuber, boxer, rapper.
And now, entrepreneur extraordinaire, apparently.
Right, because he's teamed up with Logan Paul, MrBeast,
Another pair of internet titans.
to launch a new snack brand called Lunchly.
Lunchly. It sounds so innocent, right?
Deceptively so.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just about energy drinks or merch drops anymore.
This is about conquering the snack aisle, one brightly colored package at a time. But not everyone is thrilled about this latest venture.
Enter DanTDM.
Oh yeah, DanTDM. For those not familiar, we're talking OG Minecraft YouTuber. Huge following, especially with the younger crowd.
Exactly. So when he takes to Twitter to air his grievances about Lunchly, well, people pay attention.
Because it wasn't exactly a glowing endorsement, was it?
Not quite. His initial tweet, it kind of set the internet on fire. He more or less accused YouTubers of, and I'm paraphrasing here, selling crap to kids.
Oof, yeah. Not exactly the kind of press you want when you're trying to launch a new snack brand.
No, not at all. And that kind of gets to the heart of a larger issue, right? This idea that influencers are using their platforms to push products, especially to younger audiences, without much regard for the actual quality or value of what they're selling.
It's that whole selling out argument, but amplified by the power of the internet.
Exactly. And it's a debate that's been raging for years, but this Lunchly situation brings it into sharp focus, doesn't it? Because on one hand, you could argue that it's just business. Influencers have a platform, they have an audience. Why not leverage that to build something new?
Especially in a space like the food industry, which is already saturated with celebrity endorsements and brand deals.
Yeah.
But then there's the other side of the coin.
The responsibility that comes with that level of influence, especially when your audience is largely made up of impressionable young minds.
Kids who might not necessarily have the critical thinking skills to differentiate between a genuine recommendation and, well, a paid promotion, however subtle it might be.
And that's a difficult line to walk, for sure. But back to the drama at hand, because KSI, he's not exactly known for taking criticism lying down.
Oh no, if anything, he's known for adding fuel to the fire. And his response to DanTDM's tweet was, well, let's just say it didn't exactly de-escalate the situation.
It was a classic KSI clapback. Brutal, sarcastic, and ultimately very telling.
Telling in what way?
Well, for one, he later deleted the tweet, which to me suggests that maybe, just maybe, he realized he'd crossed a line.
Interesting. So even KSI, the king of online banter, has his limits. Or maybe it's more about protecting his brand, his image.
It's probably a bit of both, honestly. You have to remember, he's not just speaking to DanTDM here. He's speaking to millions of followers.
Many of whom are young, impressionable, and looking up to him as a role model. So what did this infamous deleted tweet actually say?
Well, I've got it right here, screenshotted for posterity, of course. And buckle up, because it's a doozy. He basically called DanTDM well, let's just say it wasn't a term of endearment. And then, to add insult to injury, he sarcastically offered to pay Dan for the promo.
Oh, the irony.
Right, like DanTDM's criticism was just free advertising for his new snack brand.
Which, knowing KSI, it very well could have been. The man's a marketing genius, even when he's seemingly self-sabotaging.
And that's the thing about online drama, isn't it? It's impossible to tell where the performance ends and the real begins.
And in a way, does it even matter anymore?
That's the question, isn't it? In the age of the attention economy, any publicity is good publicity. And KSI, he plays that game better than anyone.
But at what cost? That's what we have to ask ourselves. I mean, you've got to hand it to him, right? The man knows how to keep us on our toes. It's like he's always one step ahead, turning every situation into an opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. He's a master of controlling the narrative, even when it seems like things are spiraling out of control. But this whole episode with DanTDM, it brought up some interesting questions about the limits of online humor and the responsibility that comes with having such a large platform.
Especially when you're dealing with a younger audience who might not always be able to see the difference between a joke and, well, something a little more serious.
Exactly. And that's where this my apology thing comes in.
Oh, you mean the infamous bait and switch?
One and only.
Okay, for our listeners who might have missed this little masterpiece of internet manipulation, give us the rundown. What exactly went down?
So, picture this. The internet is ablaze. Everyone's talking about KSI's deleted tweet, the drama with DanTDM, the whole 9 yards.
And KSI, being KSI, he knows he has to address it. But how?
With a healthy dose of mischief, of course. He takes to Twitter again and he starts teasing this link. And the link says, "My apology."
Ooh, dramatic.
Right. You click on it thinking, okay, maybe he's going to own up to his mistakes. Maybe there's going to be some genuine reflection here. What do you get?
Don't tell me.
It redirects you to his new song. Not a single word of apology in sight.
I'm speechless. That is, I have to give him credit. Incredibly savvy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
It was a stroke of marketing genius. He turned all that negative attention, all that drama into pure, unadulterated hype for his new music.
And people were falling for it. Clicking on that link gave him exactly what he wanted. More views, more engagement, more attention.
But it also rubbed some people the wrong way, you know? There was a sense that he was exploiting the situation, that he was making light of something that, for some people, wasn't really a laughing matter.
It's that age-old question. When does a joke go too far? And in the online world, where the lines between authenticity and performance are constantly blurred, it's a question that's becoming increasingly difficult to answer.
Exactly. And it's not just about KSI, right? This is a conversation we need to be having about influencer culture as a whole, because as these platforms become more powerful, as these creators amass more influence, the stakes get higher. And the potential for harm, whether intentional or not, it grows exponentially.
It's like we're all navigating this uncharted territory together.
Trying to figure out where the boundaries are, what's acceptable and what's not. And in the meantime, we've got KSI out here pushing the limits, testing our patience, and maybe, just maybe, making us think a little bit differently about the whole game.
I'm fascinated by how he manages to walk that tightrope.
It's a delicate balance, for sure.
Alienating some, captivating others, but always, always keeping us entertained. It's a tricky thing to pull off, wouldn't you say?
Oh, without a doubt. And it brings up some fascinating questions about the nature of influence in the digital age.
Like, how much is too much?
Exactly. When does the pursuit of attention, of engagement, of clout, as the kids say, when does it cross the line into something more?
It's like we're all playing catch-up, trying to make sense of the rules while the game's already in play.
And the rules keep changing, right? What flies today might be old news tomorrow. It's exhausting.
Absolutely. But also kind of exciting,
Yeah,
you know? Keeps us on our toes.
I suppose. But it also makes it difficult to have these nuanced conversations, these important conversations about the impact of influencer culture, the ethics of marketing to young people, the responsibility that comes with having millions of eyes on your every move.
Because it's easy to get caught up in the drama, the back and forth, the sheer entertainment value of it all.
And listen, I'm not saying we can't enjoy it, that we can't appreciate the creativity and the hustle that goes into building these online empires, but we also have to be aware of the bigger picture, the potential consequences of normalizing this kind of behavior.
It's about finding that balance, right? Between enjoying the show and remembering that there are real people behind these online personas with real feelings and real lives that extend beyond the screen.
Exactly. And real impact on their audiences, many of whom are young and still forming their own values and beliefs.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us?
Well, I think it starts with awareness, with having these conversations, even if they're uncomfortable. We need to be talking to our kids about online safety, about critical thinking, about the importance of questioning what they see and hear online.
And not just our kids, right? I mean, we're all susceptible to this stuff, to the allure of influencer culture, to the persuasive power of a well-crafted marketing campaign.
Absolutely. We're all consumers in this digital age, and it's up to us to be informed, discerning consumers. So the next time you see a sponsored post, a catchy ad campaign, a dramatic online feud, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what's the motivation behind this? Who benefits from my attention, and am I okay with that?
Such an important reminder. We can't just passively consume this content. We have to engage with it critically, thoughtfully.
Exactly. Because the internet, for all its flaws, it also gives us a voice, a platform to share our own perspectives and challenge the status quo.
So let's use those voices, my friends. Let's keep these conversations going, both online and offline.
And let's work together to create a digital space that's more inclusive, more equitable, and more mindful of the impact our words and actions can have on others.
Beautifully said. This has been quite the deep dive, hasn't it? We started with a simple snack brand and ended up exploring the complexities of influencer culture, the ethics of online marketing, and the future of digital citizenship.
Only on the deep dive.
That's right. So until next time, dear listeners, stay curious, stay critical, and most importantly, stay engaged. We'll see you in the next deep dive.